Hi everyone, welcome to Hindsight. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I create a mini video tutorial. I'm going to be starting from where I stopped in my previous video, where I showed how to create a PDF Christmas card using PowerPoint. As you can see on my screen, this is the first card I created, and then this is the second card I created. If you want to watch how I created both cards from scratch, I'm going to leave the link at the right hand top of this video so you can go ahead and watch that. However, what I'm going to do in this video is add more animations to these cards. I'm going to bring them to life. I'm going to make them more creative. So if you want to watch how I do that, then please keep on watching. I'm going to start with the first card. What I'm going to do is add an entrance animation to every section of the slide. So the image and the three different sections of the messages. I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to go to animations, click on add animation, and then click on an entrance effect. I'm going to go to more entrance effects. I have more options to choose from, so I'm going to choose wedge, and then I'm going to click on OK. The next thing I want to do is make sure that each section or each animation starts in the order that I want. So I'm going to go to the animation pane at the right section, and then I'm going to arrange everything. What I want to do is make sure that the first section starts together with the image. So I want the image to appear right at the same time that the first section of the message appears. So I'm going to click on the image. I'm going to click on Start with Previous. Then I want the second section of the message to start right after the image appears. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Start After Previous. Then I also want to do the same. I want the third section to appear right after the second section of the message. So I'm going to click on Start After Previous. And then for the last section here, I want this to be the last animation that appears. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down, and I'm going to click on Start After Previous. The next thing I want to do is also add more animation to the image. I'm going to click on it, go back to Add Animation, and I'm going to click on Pause under Emphasis. Also, what I want to do is make sure that the emphasis starts at the same time that the second section of the message appears. So I'm going to go ahead and move this right under the second section of the message and click on Start with Previous. I also want the timing of the emphasis to last as long as the second section. So I'm going to expand this to 4 seconds. Let's see. Beautiful. So everything already flows in the way that I want it to flow. So the last thing I'm going to do is go to Insert and add a sound effect. So click on Audio on my PC, click on Christmas Sound 2. I already downloaded the sounds from freearchive.org. I'm going to leave the link in the description box if you want to have access to it for any purposes. So I'm going to move the sound right to the top. Here, I also want to make sure that when the animation starts, that the sound here is not showing on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Playback, Play in Background. I also want to adjust the volume of the sound and make sure that it's not too much, but just somewhere that's in the middle, I'll say. And then lastly, I also want to make sure that the timing of the sound is right. So I'm going to click on this, go to Timing. Okay, it says until end of the slide. So the sound is going to keep on playing to the slide ends. I'm going to show you, I'm going to play all so you can see what we've done so far. Beautiful. The last thing I want to do is also add an entrance animation for the entire slide. So I'm going to go to Transitions, and I'm going to click on Vortex, Preview, just to show you what it looks like. So this is what Vortex looks like. So now that we are done, what I'm going to do is go ahead and save this as an MP4 file. Save as. In the end, I'm going to show you the entire effect. So we're just going to go straight ahead to the second card and add animations to that as well. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing I did in the last card. I'm going to add an animation to the message. I'm going to go back to animation, click on add animation, more entrance effects, wedge, click on OK, click on Christmas, go back to animation, more entrance effects, wedge, OK. And then I also want to add an animation to the image itself. So I'm going to click on this, add animation, under emphasis, click on pulse. So now I'm going to arrange everything and make sure that it happens in the order that I want. So I'm going to move the emphasis right under Mary. I want it to start after previous. And I want this to start the Christmas section, second section of the message, to start together with the emphasis. I'm going to click on start with previous. I'm also going to expand the emphasis to be right about the same as the Christmas message. So let's just see what happens. Beautiful. So now that we're done, I'm going to also add a transition animation to the entire slide. So I'm going to go to Vortex. I'm going to show you a preview again of what Vortex looks like. Beautiful. So let's move to the second slide. I'm going to also highlight everything here. Go to animation, click on add animation. I'm going to use random bars. I'm going to also click on start after previous so that everything starts right after the first slide and everything starts after each other. So I'm going to just show you what we've done. Very simple. Beautiful. So now we're done with the second slide. We're going to move to the third. Just click on this, click on add animation. I'm going to use wedge again. Click on wedge, select OK. I'm going to also click start after previous. Then move right to the fourth slide. I'm going to click on this one, add animation. I'm going to use wedge again. I love wedge. You can use any effect you want. And then for the last section of the slide, I'm going to add random bars. So one thing I forgot to do is add a transition to every slide. So I'm going to go back to the second slide and also click on transition. For this one, I'm going to use a different transition. I'm going to use wind. Let me show you a preview of what wind looks like. Beautiful. And then for the third slide, I'm going to use peel off. Let me show you what it looks like. Beautiful. And then I'm also going to use peel off again for the fourth slide. Go back, peel off, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that everything flows in the order that I want. So for the fourth slide, I'm going to go ahead, click on start after previous, start after previous, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead and add a sound to the entire slides. So go back to insert, audio, Christmas sound 2, insert, move this to the first part of the animation pane, go back to timing. So I'm going to make sure that this keeps on playing. So I'm going to click on none here. I'm going to go to effects. I'm going to make sure that it stops playing right after the fourth slide. So I'm going to click on I'm going to type in 4 and then I'm going to click on OK. I'm also going to make sure that the sound appears or plays in the background. So I'm going to go to playback, playing background. I'm going to also adjust the sound just to where I like it. And that's it. So now I'm just going to play everything we've done just to show you what we've done so far. And then here. So just like the first slide or the first card, I'm going to go ahead and save this as an MP4 file. Also, one thing I need to mention is that you can always adjust how fast or how slow you want every animation effect to happen. So if you want it to go longer, you can always extend it. If you want it to go, you know, a bit faster, you can always reduce it. So just always remember that you can play around with PowerPoint however you want, and that's one reason I love PowerPoint so much. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as an MP4 just like the first slide. It's going to take maybe a minute or two to finish, or even less than that. So once everything is done, I'm going to come back and show you what we've done so far. So now let's see what we've done with the first card. Whoa. Beautiful. And let's see what we've done with the second. This brings us to the end of this video. I've showed you how to create a mini video tutorial using PowerPoint. You can send the MP4 files via email or just share them online. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please consider liking, sharing, and commenting. Also consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell for future uploads, and I will see you in my next video. Happy holidays. Bye.